Hello, good sir. You must be Mr. Crane.
Yes, sir, but Ichabod is fine.
Well, Ichabod, you arrived just at the perfect time. The air is just getting warm again. The winter was a tough one, but we are glad you could join us here in town.
Well, as the wise cotton mather once said, a good school deserves to be called the very salt of the town that hath it.
Cotton mather.
Are you familiar with his work?
A fine, fine scholar. When you've been to church, you will hear we are quite alike in our philosophy.
And that is good to hear. I find it is best to be open and upfront with dangerous topics. God forbid something were to happen here as it did in Salem.
Quite right. Quite right. A truly ghastly shape. But the devil is alive and is always on the prowl, like a snake, stalking its next victim.
Pastor Jansen, it does make me shiver to think.
Yes, well, enough of that talk. Welcome, Mr. Crane to Sleepy Hollow. We are delighted you will join us come the autumn.
Yes, I am as well, sir.
And you must meet Mr. Van Tassel, a leader in our village. If you intend to know the community, you must know the Van Tassels.
Yes, anything you say, Father. Now, whilst I was sent here as a school teacher, I believe I can make myself useful in other ways. You see, well, I've been performing psalmodies in churches since early childhood. I consider it my duty to continue with the activity.
You are a real treasure, Mr. Crane. Singing is the truest form of prayer, as they say.
Here, I most certainly agree. I'd be happy to assist in any way I can. Not to sound pompous, but it has been said to me by some rather well-educated colleagues that my voice seems to be that of a particular, unique, and pleasant register.
Our choir opportunities have been rather limited, but perhaps as a school teacher, you'd be a proper fit to instruct. But I must ask, are you well versed with adults as well as children? Not to overwhelm you on your first day back.
Yes, sir, I'm experienced with teaching all walks of life. I'd be honored to help spread God's good songs through Sleepy Hollow.
Then it's settled. You start as summer dawns upon us.
Oh, wondrous love to bleed and die.
Children, please array yourselves on the chancel. Children! Today we will be practicing Psalm 23.
The Lord to me a shepherd is, want therefore shall not I. He rules the tender grass, dark cause me.
Stop, enough! Oh, that was awful! Haley, your singing was subpar. I could barely hear you in the song. Judith, use your mouth, not your nose to sing. And Adrian, stop fumbling the words. Use the book for guidance. Now all of you, start again from the top.
The Lord to me a shepherd is, want therefore shall not I. He in the folds of tender grass, doth cause me down to lie. To waters calm me gently.
Oh my, I'm so sorry I'm late.
Please find a place next to the rest of the children. I'm sorry for the interruptions. Begin again. Well, it seems we're just going to have to do this over and over again until we get it right. This try lacked effort from all of you. You mustn't be nasally with the line of he in the folds of tender grass. Oh, it must be sung tenderly and full of joy towards the wonderful nature of our Lord. Not stuffed up in congested tenors. So we must do this one more time. Start again from the top.
The waters calm me gently leads, restore my soul doth he. He doth in paths of righteousness, for his name's sake.
I do beg your pardon, Mr. Crane, but I think that we should be let go at this hour. Oh, I mean, the sun him to be walking home after dark.
Very well. The day sure does get away from you when singing the good word. Be on your way, children, before the night completely overtakes the sky. I am sure to see you for our next session. But, could you stay, miss? It'll be just for a moment, I assure you.
All right, yes.
If you please. May I inquire about your tardiness today?
Oh, I'm deeply sorry, Mr. Crane. It's just that I live just outside of town, and it's a bit of a way to walk to church.
I see. And have you always partaken in this choir? This is the first time I've seen you at practice since I took over.
Why, yes, I've actually been a part of it for the past few years.
Well, then I hope to be setting a great example of seriousness of such a commitment we are making to our community, and that includes all participants, especially the most senior of members.
Yes, I understand. Is there anything else, Mr. Crane?
Yes, since you've been here for some time, I'd like you and the other seniors of the choir to help set an example for the younger ones. Arrive early, if you can, and help set up the choir books on their stands before the rehearsal begins. Show them how well prepared you all are, how to project their voices, Katrina.
I will make sure to arrive swiftly. Is that all, Mr. Crane?
Yes, I believe so, Miss...
Von Tassel. Katrina Von Tassel. Now, I really must be on my way, but it was so nice to meet you.
Miss Van Tassel,
Yes, Mr. Crane?
will you be all right walking home alone tonight?
Well, why shouldn't I be? I walked here myself, didn't I?
I suppose so, milady, but from what I've heard, this town is no place for a damsel like yourself to walk around at night.
Oh, but is it a place for a man such as yourself?
Perhaps not. But I suppose it could benefit us both then. We could make sure the other doesn't disappear into the dark.
Well, when you phrase it like that, Mr. Crane, it does make a good defense. I would be happy to have your company on my walk home tonight. You know, Sleepy Hollow carries a bountiful offering of myths.
Oh, well, from what I've read, Katrina, they don't sound much like myths.
Oh, why, Mr. Crane, you seem like a rather well-read man. Oh, you know, I suppose that is a good quality of a school teacher to have. Now tell me, what's that book about?
Really? You'd like to know?
Yes, I would. You seem awfully surprised.
Oh, it's just I feel rather foolish whenever I bring up this book. Nobody takes me very seriously or cares to listen.
Well, I do.
Well, Cotton Mather describes plenty of signs of the devil to look out for in New England, but this area as well, I'm sure. I mean, you grew up around here, you must agree. I'd say he's correct with his fears, as since I've been here, I've heard the wildest of stories.
I'm sure you've heard of that Major Andre.
Why, yes, the men in the tavern were discussing him. I must say I was quite taken by his story, until I felt a cool breeze up my neck. It's almost as if he was there, with me, and... Goodness, I'm sounding foolish.
Oh, not at all, Mr. Crane. Not at all.
Well, do you know of his story? Not that I want to put you out or anything, but according to Cotton Mather's, 'tis better to know the tales than to be blind by them. As he says it, the devil's shield against the devil's sword.
Oh, it's one of my favorite tales to tell. So, okay, so you see, the man himself, Major Andre, was this famed British soldier in the war. He was a spy, working undercover throughout the States. When he was eventually found out by the Continental Army, they hanged him from a tree. Right here in Sleepy Hollow. Some say that it's the folklore, the center of all evil in this town. Nearly every creature, aberration, or at least the most deadly, here at some point by Major Andre's tree.
My Katrina, what a frightful story.
She is like a living figure. I can see it when winter is at its deepest, and the trees are bare. The silhouette of it against the horizon often obscures the moon in my window. I must admit it does give me quite a scare most nights.
Do you think it's true?
Oh, it must be. I mean, the tales are too widely known to be a farce.
Did you hear that?
Yes. You don't suppose that anyone else is hearing the churchyard with us? I can't imagine who would be at this hour.
Katrina, you don't think it's a spirit awaiting us in the dark, do you?
Mr. Crane, get a hold of yourself, okay? There isn't any spirit.
Did you hear that? It sounded like a horse breathing right near us, but no horse in sight.
Mr. Crane, let's get out of here. You were supposed to walk me home, not give me the fright of my life.
So strange. I thought I saw a man in the distance, but something about him was so odd.
Ichabod, let's leave, please.
My apologies, Katrina. I suppose all the talk of spirits had riled up my senses for the evening.
It's really no matter, Mr. Crane. You know, this evening was still a pleasant one for me.
Well, I'm quite glad to hear that, Katrina.
Well, we've arrived.
Dear me, this is all your land?
Well, it's my father's, but yes.
All those pigs and those cows, oh, you must have a feast each night.
You were very taken with our livestock, I can see.
One of the greatest pleasures of life is a gratifying meal. Falling asleep with your belly full and warm with food.
Well then, we must have you over for dinner one of these nights. You know, to get you one of those gratifying meals.
Say the word on the word as quick as I can.
Well, I'd best be turning in for the night, Mr. Crane. Oh, would you like to meet my father? He's waiting on the porch.
Oh, I don't know. Do you think you'd like to meet me?
Of course. Father, come here.
Dearie me, Katrina, what took you so long?
My apologies, Father. I took a bit of extra time to get acquainted with our new choir master, Mr. Ichabod Crane.
Choir instructor, eh?
Yes, sir, and town schoolmaster is coming back.
Oh, you don't say.
Yes, I suppose we needed one of those after that Taffy was so tired himself out. Well, Mr. Crane, I thank you for accompanying my dear Katrina home tonight. I pray you get home safe. Sleepy Hollow can be dangerous at night.
Yes, that's what I'm starting to realize. Mr. Van Tassel, it has been a pleasure. Katrina, I hope to see you again soon.
You will, Mr. Crane. You will.
Oh, Katrina, my fairest goddess, most beautiful thing. Hear the way my heart calls into that speckled night sky. Together may we flourish, rich with life and endless love.